So before I talk about the bug fixes that are coming, as in the time I'm recording this, tomorrow, I want to make something very clear. And that is that maybe a lot of bugs we see in the game are not necessarily bugs, but more of a game performance issue. Right now, when I go over the bug fixes that are coming this update, you know, I feel like some people might be like, you know, why didn't they fix this, right? Why didn't they fix that? And I feel like a lot of things might be because they're game performance issues and not necessarily bug fixes, so they don't really have to say they fixed it. Like, for example, going through walls, right? Like, we all have gone through walls or turret. Maybe that's more like a game performance issue than an actual bug, right? You know how like literally every single pull in the game is basically glitched, like the churn pull, the Yates pull, the fin pull. You know how sometimes it glitches where you try to pull someone and the person either gets pulled in and wasn't in range of the pull, or either when you try to pull them they get glitched and they get stuck and they start to bug out, right? Maybe that's more of a game performance issue than an actual bug, you know. So I also understand where a lot of you guys are coming from, because you know there have been some problems with the game, maybe some minor bugs that have not necessarily been fixed in a long time. Like, some might have been in the game probably for years now. The only thing that has changed is how often you see these bugs, like how rare they are, right? That's literally the only thing that has changed. So the problem I have is, or will be, if tomorrow when the update comes out, the problem's gonna be, now that they added all these other changes and you know that they're adding all this different content into the game, like the new hero, you know, all these different skins, a lot of people are not going to be able to enjoy all this new content because they will be more focused on the problems the game has. So I feel like this update is kind of a make it or break it situation for SCMC, if I'm completely honest. So for a long time in competitive, we've actually been seeing this toxic teleport boots Grumpjaw ult situation happen in the top lane. You guys know how it goes down, right? You buy teleport boots, you TP someone to base, you know, you put a scout cam in base, or you just TP them to like a minion that is barely spawning, or you teleport them to a turret. Turns out that no longer will happen. So before I get deep into it, the basis of this video is talking about the bug fixes that are coming this update. I know there are some bugs that I didn't even know actually existed, so let's dive into it. Damage text now scales with amount. Now if I'm not wrong, basically what this means is that now you will more clearly be able to see the damage you are outputting, because you know the more damage you are doing now, the more clearly you can see it, because the text of the damage will become bigger. The second one, fix the bug where Tony's trash talk dealt damage twice. I had no clue this even existed. I know there was a bug where, you know, for those of you guys who didn't know, there was a bug on Tony's trash talk, his taunt, where when you would taunt someone, if they press the teleport, it wouldn't taunt them. That's kind of the only bug I knew for Tony. You know, fix the bug where Tony's trash talk dealt damage twice. I'm cool with that. You know, anything that just makes things the way they're supposed to be, you know, makes things right. Moving on to the third one, Grumpjaw now spits his target out upon channeling teleport boost. This is a big one, like I said at the beginning of the video. You know, I even made a video on it. That video has a crazy amount of views, so a lot of people knew about this. I think after a while, after, you know, SCMC started seeing it a lot in competitive, I feel like then they were like, you know, this is kind of a problem. So I was assuming something like this would happen. I kind of thought it was cool, honestly, but it makes the game a lot more fair, you know. I mean, it kind of required some skill to do, honestly. But moving on, teleport boots channel may now be cancelled by stuns. So this is good, but I think what people didn't understand is that naturally you would use teleport boots in very specific situations. Like, two, I guess, good examples of this would be you would split push knowing you would have teleport boots, baiting the team to come gank you, right? So when they would come to you, you would teleport to another lane and push out that lane, and now they have to deal with two lanes, and then you have your team pushing out the third lane. So now they would have to deal with all lanes, right? And you know, obviously this would create space. You know, you could take objectives, you could get turrets out of this, or it would be in a situation where you would bait out one of the members of the enemy team to come respond to the lane that you're pushing in. That way you tell your team to initiate a fight, and that way you can teleport in, and the person who came to contest you in lane can do nothing but literally just watch you teleport into the team fight, turning it into a 4v5 in your favor, right? You know, even if he tried to stun you out of it, he couldn't do much out of it. But what I'm getting to is that usually, like when you would get ganked, for example, like let's say you're split pushing and 4 people would come try to kill you, right? You naturally would reflex block to try to negate some of the damage so you wouldn't get bursted. So most likely nothing really changes. I mean, it's gonna require maybe a little more skill now to know when someone's gonna try to stun you so you don't get your TP canceled, but that's about it. Next, we got items with passive cooldowns now display on the item icon. I feel like by that they mean that when you open the scoreboard, it will show the cooldown of the passive on there. Or it might mean that on the side, you know how on the side you have those little icons that show like the passive cooldown of something? It might, instead of showing it on there, it might show directly on the item. Or you know what? Maybe even both. Next, fix the bug where turrets were switching targets when they shouldn't. Okay, that, you see, that SCMC, I give you props for, okay? That was annoying. Fix the bug where jungle monster health bars could display incorrectly after disconnecting and reconnecting. Okay, well, I knew the health bars of like objectives would get glitched when you would accidentally disconnect or when your game would crash. I didn't know what would happen for jungle monsters as well, so that's nice. Now you won't struggle if you accidentally disconnect and you're jungling. You know, you would just get back into the game and keep doing your thing, right? It will no longer affect you because of the fact that you accidentally DC'd or because the game crashed. All single target abilities now display module. Okay, that's not necessarily that important. Fix a bug where abilities could sometimes incorrectly display it as being off cooldown after disconnecting and reconnecting. Okay, that kind of goes equally with the jungle monster health bar thing. So yeah, that's cool. You know, for those of you guys who log out a lot, you know, that's really gonna just help you get back into the game and doing your thing and just, you know, like you never disconnected, right? So that's awesome. I really like seeing changes like those, you know, that just help improve the game in general. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of these bug fixes. Let me know what bug fixes you think should have happened as well. I think the major bug fix that they should have touched upon, Lyra's teleport will get stuck on walls. You know, when you teleport near a wall, you can't go through it, and that can screw up fights sometimes. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought of these bug fixes. You know, let me know what bug fixes you guys would have loved to see. And other than that, I'm out.